Hello and welcome back, Warriors, to my channel. I'm your host, Daniel Fakir, founder and CEO of Fakir Fitness. Now, this is a question that I'm asked a lot. Like, how do I lose weight, Danny? I'm doing everything possible, and I see that on the scale, I'm not losing a pound. Actually, I'm going over than what I was projected as far as for trying to lose throughout the week. Reason being is a lot of people are overcomplicating the situation when it comes to losing weight. I'm gonna lay it out plain and simple for you. You don't need those pills that you see in those commercials. You don't need to do surgery. These are things that are just, fast ways of doing it, but that doesn't mean necessarily that you're gonna get the right results that you're looking for. I'm gonna simplify it to the best way, just teaching you how to lose weight in as simple as 7 days. So these are all types of things that I teach my clients to help them lose weight that many people may not tell you, but I'm telling you at the end of this, you're gonna be like, Danny, thank you so much. I now have the program. I now know what I need to do in order to get into my fitness journey. I first want to start off by telling you guys, I have been a fitness trainer for now almost about 2 decades now. I'm getting old. So I've done every type when it comes to strength training, cardio training, people who are training either for sports, professional sports or amateur sports. I've been training people like that. Marathon runners, I've done the mold. I've done just about everything. And praise God, what I saw the most important out of all these types of trainings was everybody is different, right? Nobody's really trying to hit the same fitness goal. It's not like if I lose 10 pounds, it's going to be the same as Joe Smo who's trying to lose 15 pounds. We're not going to show the same on the scale. It's going to look different if I'm losing it compared to if he's losing it. So you want to try to find what best fits you. And by doing that, you want to make sure that you speak with your primary care physician. So before you start any type of exercise program or diets, make sure that you speak with your primary care doctor to know what exactly fits you as an individual person. Now, these tips are just going to help you as far as for getting started, helping you to find as far as how to make sure that you're losing the weight and doing it healthily. So I would say the best way when it comes to losing weight, the 2 major things that people kind of overlook is really simple. It's just a dietary change and doing exercise. These are the most important things as far as when you're coming down to losing weight. Now, I have notes at the bottom. You're going to see me kind of periodically looking down. I'm just going over the notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything for you. I'm laying it all out, giving you free information, free game right now. I want to make sure, because truly, I really am passionate about this. I want to make sure I give you everything to really get you started. What got me started at the beginning of this, for those who are just jumping in and may not know me, again, my name is Daniel Fakir. I was diagnosed with lupus. So lupus is an autoimmune disease where your cells begin to attack its own self. This is around the age of 13 when I was first diagnosed, so I had to learn as far as how to be able to get myself in peak performance, making sure I'm doing the right way of eating, making sure I'm doing the right way of exercising to prolong my health. Now, lupus, it can attack anywhere when it comes to your skin. It can do your heart, your brain, your organs. For me, I have what's lupus nephritis, and that's with my kidneys. So I've had multiple times where I've had relapse and I had to get myself back in shape. This has truly made me so passionate and so caring for people who are, if you're just starting off or if you had setbacks, if you had injuries, rehabilitation. I really have a special spot in my heart for you guys because I've been in your shoes. I know what it's like to, being able to do a full mile to now struggling just to walk to the bathroom. So I gained a lot of weight because it was my kidneys. It made me gain a lot of weight as far as rapidly. About 30 pounds is what the most I gained from water weight, and that was the hardest part, the hardest journey of my life, was fighting to get back in shape, because when I was at that weakest moment as far as gaining all that weight and struggling just to breathe, struggling just to walk, I couldn't go to my regular exercises. I couldn't start off with a warm-up of a mile, right? I knew I could barely walk 5-10 steps, let alone do a mile. So I had to learn everything from scratch, what best fits me, how I'm able to get myself back in shape. And in doing so, it just made me very compassionate to others who are getting into shape, because you may not be able to do what you see on TV. You may not be able to do what your friends are doing. That doesn't matter. You want to find what fits you and how you're able to get started in your healthy fitness journey. When it comes to your dietary change, I'm talking about things as simple as just reducing your intake, your calorie intake. What I mean by that is what you are putting in your body, you want to make sure that you're expending or you're burning more than what you're putting in. So from research, it shows now you want to probably do anywhere between 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day. That's just a simple kind of having an idea of where you want to be in the range of. They used to say 1,200, but now it shows from research a lot of people were doing 1,200. they were insufficient in the amount of vitamins and things that they needed, nutrients for their body. They were lacking in that. So they said, let's just move it to 1,500. So you're looking at 1,500 to 2,000 calories. Don't worry, I'm breaking this down to simple math. This is not trigonometry, the Celsius, the cal. No, this is very simple for you guys to understand. The best way that I learned and I was able to kind of really understand, and I'm hoping to be able to break it down for you. Think of your body as like a bank, right? Like your bank account, and you are depositing $100 a day into your body. That's like your kcals, your calories that you're putting into your body. You just want 100 for the day, just 100. Now we're just breaking it down to make it as simple as possible. That's why I'm starting off with 100. So when you have that $100 in your account, let's just say I go out, I do a workout, a small workout. I do some errands, I do these things. I burn $30, 30 calories off of that $100. And what am I left with now? 30 minus 100, you're now with 70 calories or $70. So you're looking at it now, okay, I'm doing really good. I'm lower than what I normally have in my body intake, so this is going to help with me losing that weight. But let's just say as far as I do that, and then later that day at work, it's somebody's birthday. It's Bill's birthday. Hey, come on in, Danny. It's Bill's birthday. We're going to celebrate with them. No, have a piece of cake. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Rather than one slice, go ahead, Mary, give me 2 of them slices. I take 2 of them slices of cake. What? What you mean? Joe made his famous macaroni and cheese? Go ahead and cut me a slice of that. Let me go ahead and get that cut of slice right there, that mac and cheese, No raisins, just mac and cheese. Let me go ahead and get a piece of that. And then somebody says, yo, you know what? They're doing free Chick-fil-A downstairs in the lobby. Chick-fil-A, come on now. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of that too. So I now went from having 70 calories to I now intake about 50 calories of all of that I just ate just during that minimal span of a lunchtime. So I'm now going from having 70 calories to a surplus now of 120, so 20 calories more. And you are now looking at it like this. So it's like my body, I'm supposed to do just 100 a day because that's what I know that I'm expending out throughout the day. I'm now 20 plus over. So that's the reason why, even though I'm working out, I'm doing these things correctly, I'm still gaining weight because I'm not burning out as much as I'm putting into my body. I hope that kind of helps explain it for you guys, and a great way for you to kind of be guided with that. It is a little bit of math, I would say, where you're looking at the label of the things that you eat. So you find your favorite meals. Hey, you know what? In the morning, I love 2 boiled eggs, and I just want a slice of toast and some avocados on top. You look at what you normally eat throughout the day, and then you just read the back of the label. You see how much calories you're putting into your body throughout the day. So that way you can kind of add or subtract just to make sure that you're reaching your daily goal of what your kcals are supposed to be, your calories. And offhand, this might take you about a week to kind of really start figuring it out, but before you know it, you're gonna know automatically, oh, I got that, I ate this, I did that, this is how much calories I have left for the day. You know what? I really want a brownie tonight, so let me not eat this cup of rice. Let me take this out so that way I have enough ample amounts I can eat that brownie and still reach my daily activity. I don't believe in cutting everything out. I just believe moderation and making sure that you're staying in your daily intake, that threshold that you're supposed to be in. As well, a very important thing to do is to limit your processed foods and sugary drinks. You guys know what I mean by that. Very simple, very easy. Cut out them fried foods, cut out them things. Now, for those who may not understand, whenever you hear, oh yeah, cut out processed foods, what that means when it's processed is you're taking it out of its natural state. So when for instance, you take a potato out of the ground and then you have that potato and you wash it, you eat the potato just as is. This is in its natural state. You actually saw it garden, you saw it taken out from the garden, you were able to wash it, you're eating it just as is. You can still add a little bit of your herbs, things that are natural onto there to eat. That is just a natural state. But when you start going into process, this is when you're adding in the bacon bits, you're putting in the sour cream, you're putting in dressings, you're adding all the fixings to that potato. So what was once in a natural state now has all this processed stuff on top of it, and that's where you're really getting a lot of calories added in that you didn't even need. Doesn't give you any type of nutritional benefit. It's just adding a bunch of wasteless calories into your body. So a diet plan that my wife and we did before in the past, we've tried just about everything. We've done the paleo, we've done the plant-based, the vegan. Right now I'm more in the flexitarian route, which is I'm still eating a lot as far as for the day of vegetables and vegetables and fruits, but I do have meat once or twice a week just to kind of make sure that I'm doing well with my iron levels. So like you want to find, again, as I was saying, what best fits you. But for those who are just losing weight, when you speak to your primary care physician, if you're doing a plant-based, this is where I saw the most weight loss. But you do want to be careful that you're taking the right supplements, so that way you're not losing or being insufficient in other areas. So when you're doing like any type of diet plan, speak with your doctor. They can tell you, this is great, this is going to help you, but I suggest from like other patients, this is where I saw them losing, whether it's like their vitamin D, their iron levels, things like that, and they'll tell you what type of supplements to take with that diet. So again, when it came to like, that processed food, adding all those additional things, this is where you have useless calories added into your body, and you're messing everything up, because what could have been something so simple as in just like 30 35 calories like we were talking about before, now jumped up to about 70, and you're at a surplus of, let's just say, 50 of that was unneeded, unnecessary. Sugary drinks is basically soft drinks, right? Like your sodas, your teas, things that has a lot of sugar sweeteners in there. That is unnecessary. A lot of times it's not the food that you're putting in your body, it's the juices, it's the drinks, because you don't realize how much sugar is in there. Somebody could be like, yeah, you know what, I had like, a salad today, I drank that with a Diet Coke. I'm like, rewind that back. What did you drink it with? A Diet Coke? Did you see how much calories? And like, you really kind of see, oh, you know what, although I'm eating healthy, these sugary drinks are still adding in a bunch of useless calories that my body doesn't need, and that's the reason why I'm not seeing weight loss in my body. I'm eating healthy, but I'm drinking terrible. So making sure that you are cutting out sugary drinks, not to say you have to cut out completely. I mean, you're just making sure that you're just doing it, you're limiting it down. So rather than doing with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're now just saying, hey, you know what? I really like having that drink, that sweet tea with my lunch. So you do it with your lunch, but throughout the day, you're just drinking water throughout the rest of the day. Now, a great way to make sure that you're sticking with your plan is to increase your fiber intake. When you increase your fiber intake, this makes you feel full longer. So that means like your oats, your oatmeals, like your seeds, your nuts. These are things that that you want to get that are high in fiber, that's going to make you feel full longer. This is almost a cheat code for a lot of people when I tell them to increase their diet or increase their fiber, because they're like, yo, Danny, I used to get hungry every 30 minutes after I ate, every hour. Now I'm not getting hungry until like 2 or 3 hours later. And I'm like, yes, that's a win, because if you're now cutting it down to, rather than every hour you're eating, now every 3 hours, you're getting that additional benefit of, okay, less of an hour throughout the day, here or there. And it's less that you're eating so much calories because of the fact that you're adding fiber into your diet. So adding high fiber into your diet, it's really good for your body, good for your metabolism, and it just helps you stay full longer throughout the day. So you're not gonna have breakfast at 8 and you're gonna have your first lunch at 10 a.m., then your second lunch at 12. I know we laugh about that, but there's seriously people that are struggling with that because they're not getting the right nutrients, right? They're just eating straight carbs for breakfast, which makes their body just like wanting more that's going to be able to keep them full and give them the right nutrients. So you're eating the right things is going to make your body stay full longer. I also suggest, whether you're trying to, gain muscle or not, you do want to prioritize protein. Protein is great for muscle mass building as far as keeping those muscles, and it just helps you as well stay full longer, and it's great for your metabolism. So I do suggest, as far as adding in protein, if you're vegan, that's like looking at your beans, that's like looking at your seeds, your nuts, things like that. If you're trying to stay more healthy but you're eating meats, that's like your lean meats, that's your fish, your ground turkey, that's still you still meat, but it's a little bit more on the healthier side. You're looking at lamb, like these things that you're eating, that you're getting a good source of protein, and you're not overdoing it. And like we discussed earlier, staying hydrated is so important. Right now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm thirsty. But staying hydrated allows your body, again, to stay full longer, because it always has water in the belly, so your body's not gonna be like feeling empty, hungry, and like dehydrated and just wanting everything. Your body's gonna stay fully hydrated, which is great for flushing out like your kidneys, your liver. Is great for your body. Your body's a high source of water. 75 to 80% of your body is water. That's like for the blood circulation, everything, for it to operate correctly. So you want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water. Not sodas, not sugary drinks, not just fluids, but water. And for those of you guys who hate water, a cheat code where you're still getting a little bit of sugar, but now this is fructose sugar, fruits rather than like sucrose, man-made processed sugar. is infused water. Infused water is very simple, very easy. This just means like you're slicing up strawberries, slicing up cucumbers, mint leaves, you're putting that into your water. So it has some type of flavor without adding the additional sugars. There's a lot of those little packets that they say add into your water. It's really great, but when you look at it in the back, not only is it regular sugar, they'll tell you about added sugar to it. So you're drinking a lot of sugar in there, and you don't want to do as far as the man-made processed sugar. You want to stay more into like a natural type of sugar, like a diuretic, like a watermelon, things that are going to be good for your body to be able to flush out easy. So that's where you're getting your fruits. So if you add in infused water, there's a lot of recipes you can find on Google. They'll show you like, hey, this is what you can put. What I do and what I used to do, and what I tell a lot of people, if you again don't like just regular water, if you cut all that up and let's just say you do it the night before, by the morning you have cold water that tastes like lemonade, but there's no actual sugar. You just slice up some lemon, you put that in there, or you put in like your mint leaves, your pineapples, like strawberry, kiwi, and I think it was mint leaves. That was one of those that I made. Oh my gosh, I felt like I was in heaven drinking that. That was so beautiful. Cut that up, put it in the fridge, and take that the morning, the next day, especially if you put it in a gallon. I promise you it's gonna make you want to finish that whole gallon of water in that day. So good. Another great tip that I teach people about is mindful eating. Now, as simple as it sounds, when I say mindful eating, just to give you an example, my wife and I, like, you know, we'll have a lot of movie nights where we just watch movies, Netflix and chill. You just find a movie on there and you just kind of watch. A lot of times when you're doing that, like, you know, my wife is like, hey, I'm gonna make popcorn. Do you want any? I'm like, yeah, go ahead, let's make it. She'll make a bowl, bring it over. We're watching. We see the credits going. The credits are rolling. The movie's getting started. You're still seeing the names on the screen. You're just eating that popcorn and watch it. 2 minutes into the movie, you're reaching in. The bowl is empty. You're like, did I just eat a whole bowl of popcorn? Yes, you did, and you know you did. But it's just because of the fact that you were eating without paying attention to it, you're consuming all this calories and you're not even really aware of what you're doing to yourself. Now, if you are that person who likes the popcorn, a great way to make sure that you're being mindful of it is to make that bowl of popcorn. Still enjoy it, still be able to have some popcorn while you're watching that movie, but rather than bringing a whole bowl to yourself, just grab a cup, fill up 1 cup, give the rest of that bowl to the family. This is now your popcorn for that movie, the duration of that movie. You're eating out of that cup. That way you can still be able to eat, not necessarily have to pay attention, looking down, counting the calories, but you know, okay, I had 1 cup of popcorn. When that is done, that is done. And you're able to stay mindful knowing how many calories you took in while you're watching that movie and not have to overstress about, my goodness, I just ate a whole ball of popcorn and it's only 2 minutes in the movie. Now, additional tips that I'm gonna throw in there because I love you guys that much. As far as when it comes to physical activity, whenever you hear that, oh yeah, you know, make sure you're doing physical activity. What that means, research shows you're trying to do at least 150 minutes of moderate intense activity, intense exercising or physical activity. So that can be whether if you're doing like some brisk walk, or if you're running, if you're cycling, if you're swimming, these are things that you're doing. And you, again, 150 minutes a week, that's like 30 minutes, 5 days a week. So you just want to make sure that you're breaking up in that type of increment because it makes it easier for you. Rather than thinking I got to be in the gym for 6 hours, you know, in order to burn this, you just like, I just need 30 minutes of like a brisk walk, 30 minutes of going cycling a day for 5 days, and I'm reaching that amount that I'm supposed to in order to burn like 1 to 2 calories a week. So you're trying to make sure that you are burning it correctly and you're doing it in a way that it fits your schedule. Again, I tell a lot of my clients, whenever you're trying to do an activity, don't just choose something just for the right now. You want to choose something that you know is going to last you a lifetime. This is part of your lifestyle now. So if I know that I hate running is a no-no in my book, then I'll say, hey, you know what? Why don't I try cycling? Why don't I try rowing? Or, you know, HIIT workouts are high intensity interval training. That is one of those that I tell a lot of my clients, especially if you're a busy person, if you have kids, your work, school, and you know you don't have that much time. You just need 25 minutes of like a HIIT training, and it's so impactful on the body. Reason being is because high intensity interval training, what you're doing is like you're breaking down the workouts, you're going hard for a certain amount of time in that workout, you're giving yourself a short respite in between. So let's just say for 1 minute, I'm doing 45 seconds of jumping jacks. When I'm done 15 seconds of rest, then I'm going right back into that 45 seconds of jumping jacks, and I'm doing that for 5 minutes. Then let's just say I'm doing 5 minutes of high knees, and let's say I'm doing 5 minutes of mountain climbers, 5 minutes of abs, and such and like so on and so forth until I reach that 25 minutes. So when I say 25 minutes, I don't mean as far as for working out for 1 minute, 6-minute rest. Working out for 1 minute, 10-minute rest. I mean, you are going hard for that 25 minutes. In doing so, your body's gonna be able to burn off calories, not just during that exercise, but even hours afterwards. Your body's gonna continue burning off calories. Your your blood cells are gonna go over to your heart and be like, did you see Danny trying to kill us today? Your heart's gonna be like, yeah, man, I had to work extra hard in order to burn off all those calories because of what he did to us. Go tell lungs to be ready for tomorrow to start burning off calories so that way we can be ready. Your body's just gonna be able to be burning calories throughout the whole day because of that exercise that you did just 25 minutes. So HIIT exercise is a great way for people who are busy. You don't have a lot of time to do training throughout the day. Just do that for 25 minutes and you'll see a difference. I have a lot of workouts on my channel that you guys can find that are HIIT workouts. As well, just type on Google, HIIT workouts. You'll find so many different activities that you guys can follow along with. Now, you don't want to just do only the cardio. You also want to increase your strength training. This is very important for like your muscles, your ligaments. This is important for even building your muscle mass and as far as for losing weight. So when you're doing a lot of strength training, this is a great way to lose weight. Ladies, I hear this a lot. I don't want to look like a man. I'm not trying to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Your body won't allow you to. Your DNA, your genetic makeup is not one that naturally tends to look like a man's body when you're working out. You will be able to gain muscles and still look very feminine, still look very cute. Very demure, very, very cute. Like you're not going to be able to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger just for working out for 1 week with weights. So your body will allow you to do so. A lot of people who do it, not throwing shade or anything, a lot of people who get to that state where it looks unhuman, it is because it is unhuman. Like you're adding a lot of steroids, things in there that you're not supposed to. Not saying everybody do that. There are certain people who really do put in that work, 6 hours of training a day, making sure they're eating all the adequate amount of calories. But not a lot of people are willing to take that route of doing it the natural way. So a lot of people cheat by like adding things in their body that they're not supposed to. And it's very hard to be able to maintain that. So to do it in a healthy way, you can still exercise, do your thing, and I promise you, you're not gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in 2 days. You can do that workout, do that training, lift those weights, like you'll be fine. Another thing that's very important that even myself I struggle with is making sure you're getting the proper amount of sleep per night. So whether that's like for certain people it could be like 5 to 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours. Some people younger, like I believe babies are like 9 to 12 hours are supposed to sleep. But you're just getting the adequate amount. When you're sleeping, that's your body allowing itself to do the recovery process of like checking itself, making sure everything is working properly. When you're in that REM cycle, your body's able to now kind of rest because it's not thinking about the heightened sense of having to protect yourself. Now it's just able to kind of rest and make sure from within your body's taken care of. So sleeping your proper amount is very, very important. You want to get that adequate amount of sleep. Stop staying up and watching and binging all these seasons of all these TV shows. Give yourself some time to be able to rest. So important for the body. Lastly, another great, very, very, very a great tip to be able to follow is making sure that you limit your stress. Limit your stress level. That really does impact your body, not just mentally, emotionally, but even physically. Because when you're under a lot of stress, what do a lot of people do when they're a lot of stress? Go get me that bag of Chips Ahoy. I need the M&Ms. I need the salt and pepper chips. They go through all these type of food that are bad habits. That's not good for you because when you're under all that stress, it just makes you pig out and just do everything that you're not supposed to do in a bad habit. So limiting as far as for the amount of stress that you have. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be easy. It's not. You know it yourself, but you got to be able to make sure, okay, if I'm stressed in this area, what can I do to kind of allow myself to kind of de-stress? So if it's like, at work, I'm stressed. When I get home, if I just do 5 to 10 minutes of meditation, 5 to 10 minutes of walking out or 30 minutes of walking outside. So that walk outside would not only be able to limit your stress, but it'll also be something that's great for your moderate intensity exercising throughout the day. So giving yourself opportunities to be able to have some time to kind of just take out all the toxic in your body and being able just to kind of bring yourself back to a sane state. Very, very important, very, very important for all of us to be able to follow along with. So guys, these are my simple tips. It's really not that much. I promise you, if it sounds like crazy, just go back, watch this video again, write it down. You'll see how simple it is. This is my I don't know if you guys can see it, but I filled it in on one page. All the tips that you need. So simple to follow along with, and I promise you, well, I can't promise or guarantee, but from what I've experienced from my years of training, not just myself, but I have a lot of colleagues who are also trainers. We all talk about this and we all say the same thing. It is simple steps in order to losing that weight. You do not need those pills. Now, there are people who may have issues with thyroids. These are a different issue, separate issue. Again, when you speak with your primary care physician, you can have them to do blood work for you to check your thyroid level, their TSH, other levels as far as making sure your lipids, your fats are all normal. If not, then they can give you certain type of medication to take in order to regulate it. This is separate. What I'm talking about is those, when you watch those infomercials, you take this fat pill and you'll lose all the weight in 2 seconds. Yeah, you might be able to lose it, but is it healthy though? And if you get off that pill, will that weight come back though? Read that fine print, fam. So I just want you guys to be able to follow along with this. Very simple, easy tips that you guys can follow along with. I really want you guys to win. This is the only reason why I'm giving this information out for free. I'm not charging anything. I want you guys to win because, again, I've been in a situation myself personally where it was hard and I didn't know where to go. I was that much weight as far as a 30-pound plus of weight. And everything I looked at, every book I saw, everything that I was talking about, they were either showing the fast way to do it or ways of starting off that was impossible for me to get to. So I was like, what is the most simple, generic, basic way that I can get started losing this weight and doing it properly? And these were the steps that I followed. And I promise you, I gotta stop saying I promise you. I know it works because it worked on me. And I feel like it'll work with you. So I hope you guys are able to follow along with this. I hope you guys are able to see results. Comment below if you done what I said. Come back to this video. Come back, watch it again. Comment below. Danny, I did this. This worked out amazing. Or Danny, I did this. This is what I also added, and this also helped me in regards to losing that weight. I like to read. I like to hear your feedback because I feel like this is something that everybody can benefit from. And if I win, if you win, we all win. So let's all try and win in this when it comes to your fitness journey because I really want you guys to succeed. Now, if you guys are watching this and you're new to this channel, as those of you guys who are my OGs, you know, we never like to close out without giving you an opportunity to know Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. He is a friend of mine, my wife and my baby, and we like to share him out there with you who are watching. It's a simple prayer. You just repeat after me. Lord Jesus, I repent of my sins. I ask you into my heart. I make you my Lord and Savior. In Jesus' mighty name, amen and amen. It's that simple, folks. So if you prayed that prayer with us, please get into a Bible-based church where you're able to grow spiritually. And if you have any troubles finding one, please get in contact with your boy. I'll be more than happy to help you along in that journey. Now, for my OGs, you know what's next. Newbies, come on, say it along with us. Like, comment, subscribe, share, please. By doing so, you're just helping us with our channel and sharing our healthy eating and recipes and our healthy ideas with those out there who are looking to do the same. Warriors, thank you again so much for joining in. Again, if you're new to the channel and like you're just getting started, I have on my channel like healthy vegan recipes that you guys are able to follow along with. These are simple, quick, easy recipes to get you started with your healthy eating journey. As well, we have exercise that you guys can follow along with. I'm just here to try to make sure that I'm helping my peoples out. You guys, thank you so much for joining in. I hope to see you again. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, Warriors, peace.